Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mrs. Rachel Miner!
Hello. How much do we love these guys? How very, very, very lucky are all we to know these wonderful.
Rachel, you're too kind. Robbie and I take great pride in getting to manhandle you from there to here. And I think I capped it off, Robbie, in a real classy way by then spilling water on her. I thought that was a nice... I wanted to take it to the next level.
Don't take away my flash dance.
No.
I've been waiting for that my whole life.
You're welcome. Oh, by the way, so Rachel Miner was kind enough to, because Rob and I traditionally have been doing this.
Because they're my knight in shining armor.
So she gave us uniforms. These are our official Monty Python-esque.
I went a little morbid though, because the Black Knight in. Has anyone here seen Monty Python, the Holy Grail?
Holy Grail.
So the Black Knight is kind of my mascot. So
yeah.
I rather than getting them traditional knights.
No, this is us now. Robbie and I are. It's Rachel. By the way, when she starts a band, it is going to be called Rachel Miner and the Black Knights. And Robbie and I, it's a trio.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rachel Miner.
Guys, I love you so very, very, very much. And all of you watching at home, I don't know where the camera is, but I know they're live streaming now. So, I love you guys so dearly. I'm so grateful to be. If my heart could jump out of my chest and come hug you right now, every one of you, it would. So, thank you. Are you guys having a good start to the weekend? Yay! I'm so excited to be here. I'm sorry. I'll let people start asking questions and all that good stuff. Hello. I'm good. It's good to see you. And by the way, I don't know the exchange of the lighting, so I can actually see all of your faces, which is wonderful. I love that. Yeah. Just sometimes in life, when things work, they just work and they make sense to you. And that was one of those scripts that I got. That script of Meg as a character, she just made sense. It was like, oh yeah, she's a demon. She's not a human being. Like it just worked for me. I actually hadn't seen the show when I got the part. Later, I did go back and I watched the show and I fell in love with it. And I fell in love with Nikki's portrayal of Meg. But luckily, when I first got the show, I hadn't seen it because I might have been nervous and like, oh, I won't live up to it. And then I would have seen like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be working with these amazing looking guys and they're so awesome. And I might have been really nervous. But instead, I just got to meet everyone and see their hearts and see how lovely they are. And it just became a family. It all worked.
Necessarily real excited to come back to the conventions, but we saw you for a photo op a little bit ago and we loved getting a photo with you. And I just wanted to ask if you had not retired Meg when you decided to stop playing her, who would you have picked for her to keep carrying on the part?
Well, first of all, I want to clarify something. I love coming to the conventions. I was never not excited to come. I thought no one would be excited to have me when I first got sick, and
We love you.
You guys are, seriously, you're so amazing, and you're why I'm here, because it's a weird thing when you have an illness or disability or whatever. Like, I didn't know where I fit, and I didn't know what I would, and I thought, I'll just be a downer, and, it'll be, and also I love how strong Meg is as a woman, and I loved getting to kick butt and be that kind of, that strength and show that, especially for so many young girls who watch the show. So I was really worried that it would undermine it somehow, that if I physically wasn't strong, then, it would show some weakness, and it would, undermine that female character. And so I was just very honest with all of you guys, and I said, do you want me to keep coming? Like, I thought, I was like,
Always.
You have no idea how special you are to me, and how much this supernatural family means to me, and the fact that so many people see beyond just the exterior and whatever's going on, and that the love is so strong, and that we're all in it together, and fighting together is amazing. So thank you guys. Thank you. I want to scream as loud back at you, but I don't know if I can. You're amazing. So sorry, that was the first part.
That was the first part.
What was the second again?
If you had anyone in mind you
Oh,
would have had
right.
replace Meg.
Gosh, I have no idea. I'm sure there'd be so many brilliant people. I'd love to see maybe Jensen could play Meg now. Yeah. Yeah, because Jared's gotten his turn.
Sure.
No, I mean, it's such a funny thing. I fell in love with this show so much, and I think so many of the characters are so brilliant that it's not a world that I create. Like, I don't think it up in my head. I just always, it's like opening a Christmas present. You see what the writers come up with next, and what's going to happen with each of my favorite characters, and what each actor is going to do. And I love that. So yeah, much more of an observer. I don't have too much skin in the game on that one. What about you? Is there anyone you want to see?
Not really. I really loved you, and I was really glad that you decided to take the character with you.
Thank you so
I
much.
think that was fitting.
It was an amazing ending, too. I couldn't have asked for a better ending. And I like to dream that Meg and Cass are now off somewhere.
Moving furniture. Thank you.
Hello. All right. So this question is concerning Cass.
Yes.
So, did you expect
Which
that?
means it's going to be a good question.
Exactly. You can't go wrong with Cass.
Yes.
So did you expect that relationship to come about? Was it like a shock to you, or what was your first thought whenever you saw that was going to happen?
Well, it was a really cool thing. No, I did not expect it, and I don't think anyone did. One of the things I love about the Meg Castiel pairing was that it was kind of, I think, from the fandom that it was born, because we had like that one kind of fun moment around the fire, that first moment where Cass and Meg met, and people responded, and I think there started to be some response of like those two characters had chemistry, and something oddly, as much as they probably shouldn't be together, something kind of worked, and so I loved it. But it felt very natural as a progression, and somehow those characters did really fit together in a very odd, funny way. So yeah, I think that was where it was born of, and there was always enough time in between that we could kind of play a little and see, and it was like everyone was behind it. So it was nice, because I feel like as a group we kind of created that love story. Does that sound?
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to tell you how happy we are that you're here. And recently, in personal life events, randomly, I've met a couple of people from Sons of Anarchy that had nothing but kind things to say about you.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I
just
haven't seen those guys in so long. So.
in my personal life that I can't get into through my job, that they all mentioned you and how awesome you are.
That means so much, and it's a total surprise, and it's so nice because they're such
Yeah.
good guys. They're such good people.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for passing that along.
That's all I can say because I'd be violating HIPAA, but they love you, and I just wanted to let you know how much they all adored you, and that it's really important to us that you're back. And how has it been for you being back after this chunk of time?
You're gonna make me cry. It's beautiful.
Sorry.
No, it's a good kind of cry. I like a good cry. No, it's wonderful being here. It's wonderful having I think in life we all need purpose, and we all need, something to inspire us and something to keep us going. And certainly when you're going through things, you need that even more. Because I'll tell you, even getting my shoes on sometimes, I'm half ready to give up, and I'm like, no, I'm still in this. And I think just the amount of love that's here is an incredible thing, and having anything where you feel like you can fit and where you feel like we can have value for each other is everything to me. So yeah, I don't know, I couldn't say enough about how much it means to me to be here.
Well, we hope creation keeps booking you for all the cons.
You guys are amazing.
Hi. Hello. It was nice meeting you. It was so nice meeting you. I'd like to know what you do on bad day just to cheer yourself up, because I'm chronically ill also, so.
It's sometimes I meditate, sometimes I go, one of my healing places by the water for some reason that always makes me feel better. I read a lot, but sometimes even reading, I wonder if you've read it, even reading can be hard because you're kind of stuck between falling into the beautiful world of the book and then being in so much pain, it's hard to focus.
Yeah, I understand.
But it's anything where you can put your focus outside of the pain. And anything that extroverts, puts your attention on things around you as opposed to on yourself too much. I wish, does any of that help at all?
It does.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
But also being around people, oddly, even though it's hard sometimes, being around people takes you out of your pain so much. And I find even getting, immersed in it's sometimes stressful and sometimes not pain-free, like getting into politics or getting into is a cause that means a lot to you, that means so much more than the pain. Will totally carry you out of it and beyond. So and charity work, human rights work, anything you can do that reminds you it's not just you sitting in this isolation in this field of painness, whatever it is, and that instead you're so much bigger and stronger, and life is about so much more than that, and you start to forget it even when it's blinding. Is that?
Yeah.
Do you find the same thing?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Hi.
Hi.
I liked meeting you at your photo op. You were really sweet, and this is the first time I'm asking a question, so it's really nerve-wracking.
Don't be just take a deep breath. Here's the thing: is if you notice what I do, so it's not an overwhelming feeling. Is actually just focus on the person you're talking to. And it takes away that nervousness. So I promise I'm not gonna bite you. There's nothing to be afraid of here. You can take that moment, take that breath, and not jump ahead. And then just that's whatever.
So I know Jared and Jensen like to goof around on set, so I want to know who's harder to work with.
Okay, I'm kind of almost offended, but they didn't give me that hard a time. I wonder, I'm kind of did you really like me? Because you were nice to me. I don't understand. I do remember, I think it was Jared one time made farting noises through a scene I was doing, on my close. But honestly, I was so trained from a young age to stay focused and whatever. I didn't notice till kind of in retrospect. It was that was odd. So they probably figured out quickly that I was no fun. Yeah, I know. But yeah, they're really good guys. And there were little funny things they often do. They do a lot of things together because they're awesome and very tight friends like that. But they would like ride their little bikes around. And, you know, never took themselves too seriously. So yeah. So,
Thank you. Hi. My question is, where do you see, or where would you have seen Castiel and Meg's relationship gone?
I think I would love them to, you know, live happily ever after because I am a girl. There is that part of me, or whatever you want to call it, the sap thing. But I've said before at a convention before, it occurred to me that it would be really fun to see them like try to live a normal, happy life together. Like just like, you know, be like normal human, you know, do the like couple things. Because they'd be so terrible at it. So I'd love to see that, like just cooking each other breakfast in the morning and trying to, you know, or gosh forbid, like trying to raise kids together. Like they'd just be like really, really bad. And it would be all kinds of funny. What about you?
Oh my gosh. That is a crazy question for me. I feel like the tables have gotten turned so quickly. But took a turn
I
really
like
bad.
to do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think in some aspects that would have been really nice to see, but I also feel like them just staying friends and having that emotional support also kind of gave them the chemistry that they had.
I mean, I think where they worked best together is that I think on a deep and intellectual level, which is what I loved about the coupling, they did get each other. And I think they both had that ability to look beyond. It kind of ties into what we were talking about the pain and everything earlier, was like to look beyond the smaller moment and have a bigger purpose in mind. And I think that, like, in truth, they were really at their best when they were like fighting on a bigger cause. And I think that was beautiful because it wasn't about the small, you know, things we get caught up with as humans. So, thanks.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Alright, so my question was, in the show, like, Cass is Meg's unicorn, and, you know, he helps her and he encourages her to go on and taught her that she could be more than what she was. And I was wondering if there was anyone in your life that, like, is your unicorn and encouraged you and helped you through things.
You guys are my unicorn. Serious. I'm not just saying. No, this. I mean it. This supernatural family that like everyone has just constantly encouraged me and seen. It's that thing. Sometimes seeing the best of me, and that makes me feel like I can be better. So, hopefully, we can all keep doing that for each other, each other's unicorns.
Thank you.
Hi. I was just wondering about your character Meg, if there was anything you would change when you played her or when someone else did, like her origin, backstory, whether you wanted her to be around in more episodes or not, anything you would have done differently?
No, I actually loved what the writers did. I mean, I know I don't want to sound like I kissed, but you know, but I honestly am when it comes to the way they wrote that character. I got to say the best line. question. I honestly, I don't know. There have been more and more really cool female characters recently. I love what Ruth did. I love that. I love that character, and it was a lot of fun. She always had fun with it, and it was a strong, sassy, awesome female. What about you? Would you have a favorite?
I have two. Kim and Brianna as Joe and Donna.
Well, and what's interesting, they're great as their characters, but it's also like there's this nice crossover between the personalities of who they are, just as people, and their characters. So I'll agree with you 100% there. And they inspire me, and I love that we've got strong women around.
We're daughters.
Bye, have a nice day. Hi. Okay. So when Supernatural first introduced Meg, she was played by someone different.
Yes.
So
Nikki, who did an awesome job.
So did you try to play Meg as she played her, or did you do your own thing with her?
Originally, I did my own thing because I hadn't seen it, but it's fun because I've done conventions with Nikki since. We got along really well, and I think she's awesome. And we obviously had like a similar take on the character, so that was probably why I was cast. So yeah, I wasn't trying to copy. It just, for whatever reason, the way that Meg made sense to me was similar to her. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so I want to start by saying, of course we want you here. This is a family. We're never going to not want you here.
You're
no matter
awesome.
what happens. And my question was, I wanted to ask you, playing Meg Masters and looking at you next to Meg Masters, what are some similarities and differences that you see between those two people?
I don't think I'm a demon, but I don't know.
That's not what I meant, I'm sorry.
One of the things that I really connected to, I love her. I think she's much cooler than I am. But one of the things I did connect to with her is that I'm from a nerd angle, I love history. I love studying and just learning about the world and cultures and changes over time and all that, and I feel like Meg actually lived that. So she had this awesome perspective on things. I think she was wittier and funnier than I was, but we had a similar sense of humor. In that, I found everything she said very funny, and I think if I didn't care about people's feelings, I might say some of the same things. What else? I think. She was even better than I am at having some perspective of like when she was going through stuff, didn't matter how scary and chaotic everything around her was, she just had a focus and like an inner stillness that I strive after. So we might, I definitely appreciate that about her. I don't know that I have it all the time, but I try to. What else? Is there anything you think about offhand?
No, not really. I mean, you look a lot like her.
I think I care about humanity a little more than she did. I don't think she had that. We're both fiercely loyal, though. It was one of the things I loved about Meg. Is like if she cared about someone, she was all in, and so yeah, I think that was brilliant.
I think I see a lot of her strength in you, too.
Thank you for that. Thank you. You're awesome. That was my favorite. And I just wanted to acknowledge something I just noticed, that I'd seen some requests on social media from people who wanted there to be signing during the talk, and I didn't know if that was going to actually happen. And So I'm so over the moon happy to see that going on. Because we should be, it's amazing to me because this is the most inclusive, loving group possible. So we should be evolved enough to, share with everyone. Like I'll be honest, the only qualm I've ever had with any of the Supernatural family is when they kind of, have prejudice against another, because they ship someone differently. It's like we should love whoever we love. Right? So I think of all groups, we should embrace that fully. Yeah, so I just wanted to acknowledge it's a beautiful thing. Yes.
Do you think Meg would still be a Lucifer loyalist after everything she's been through?
I do, because I've never seen Meg falter when it comes to her loyalty. Like, once she's committed, she's in. I think she would be 100% totally confused. I don't know what she would do if it was ever a choice between Lucifer and Cass. But like when Lucifer was in Cass's body, then maybe that it all would have been good. That would have just been like, icing. But yeah, I do think in general she would be, but she might have trouble when loyalties crossed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I wasn't sure because she's been so loyal to Cass.
And it's funny because I love what Mark did with Crowley so much. And he was so awesome, but like in truth with those characters, she probably would have liked anyone who was against Crowley. So.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm really nervous right now. Like, I love you, and my heart feels like it's beating out of my chest. Okay.
That's a beautiful. Can we just acknowledge that's the best feeling? I love that. Like that's what I'm saying. Our hearts should be leaping all the time. Life is just fun and awesome, and I'm so glad to be alive and be here. And I'm glad your heart is beating. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I just got really silly there, but it's true. It's an awesome thing. You should be passionate.
So I was just wondering, what was your favorite scene to play or act through on set?
Probably the final unicorn scene or the pizza man scene. Not just because, wonderful, awesome guys around and stuff. No, but honestly, as the person, all of us, we dream ourselves into these characters and these scenarios and whatever. And certainly when you're playing a character, you dream yourself into that. And I love the Meg-Cass relationship. And I think it's so brilliant when that happened. And I love when Meg did give her life for the one she loves. So those were my two favorite moments because they feel right to me. What about you?
The pizza man moment, definitely, because that one was hilarious to me, but it was also kind of like just sexy and cute.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. And I'm like the only character that got to say Nether's quiver and meat suit all do it. So,
Thank you.
Hi. So a little deeper meaning into my question, I guess it's going back to that unicorn scene. That's my absolute favorite scene with you because I really that hit home, I guess, with finding your own unicorn and I never really thought that I could find my own unicorn, but if a demon Meg could find her unicorn in an angel, then I guess anyone can, right? And Meg, she was kind of a role model for me a little bit, in her confidence and her loyalty and all that. And so my question is how has Meg changed your aspect on life or made you stronger?
I definitely think she is because I admired that about her so much. She was never a victim. She was never a damsel in distress. Even when she was captured and being tortured and stuff, she was okay with. She was like, "Yep, this sucks," and had fun. Anyway. Yeah, I love that she, and in that also, in that thing of, I think one of my weaknesses would be that I am fazed by like how others feel and things like that. Like I want everyone to be happy, and if I like, did I say something wrong? And I'll get like more, I'll fall out of my center because of what's going on around me. And I think I tried to learn from Meg how not to do that, because I think it's a really wonderful quality that she always could kind of see the overall bigger picture and humor in the largeness of it all, as opposed to getting caught up in the silly dramas we do. So yeah, those are, does that make
That
sense?
answers my question. Thank you so much.
Hello?
Aside from you and Cass, would there be another kind of ship you would like to see happen?
No, it is tricky territory because it means so much to so many people who ship. So I'm like, tread carefully. I feel comfortable with Meg Castiel because I kind of feel like I was the original Meg Castiel, so that's okay. But yeah, I don't know. I'm much more of an observer in that I just love seeing what the show comes up with, and I think so highly of those characters. And I'm also much more of like turned on by like the intellectual aspect of characters or people, and like what they're, or the larger, like what they're trying, what their large goals in life are, like what they're really inspired by. And so it's hard for me. It doesn't excite me so much to worry about like whether characters are gonna kiss or something like that. I don't know. What about you? Who do you ship?
I want to see it, but some people like get mad because like
I understand the fear.
Because some
You don't even have to. Let's take it out of the realm of ship and just say like, what characters do you really like seeing together? Yeah, you don't have to answer. I will have to say, though, we should all kind of give ourselves a little bit of a spanking, because it's sad that we've created a group where you don't feel free to just be like, this is how I feel, and it's awesome. So I feel like we should all be really comfortable with whatever turns us on, you know, in whatever way it turns us on.
Hi.
Hello.
I just want to thank you for coming here and being an inspiration to all of us.
Thank you so much for saying.
Alright, so my question is, so through this journey of being your character Meg and just your journey with the Espen family, what do you think is most important lesson you learned?
Slowly. Just that there are such loving people in the world. And I know that's gonna sound. I sound like a really cheesy. I don't know. I'm a greeting card. I'm living a greeting card. No, but it's true. From everyone who worked on the show, all the actors, all the crew, everyone in the larger supernatural family, all of you guys, all of you that come here, there's such decency, and it's not. And here's the thing too, like it's not showy decency. Like I've always kind of been. I think it's a little cringeworthy when we like just for attention, we're just like, oh, I'm nice, hi, I'm nice. And it's like, no, this is like real. When what hits the fan, I'm gonna be there. I have your back. You can feel safe, and just to see that amongst people is an incredible thing. And I think every day I try to learn from that that can exist, because it's hard for me to sometimes. I'm a bit of an introvert actually, and I don't tend to. Like, I want to be that for other people, but it's hard for me to learn that exists in others. And so I think that it's a really valuable lesson to learn that we've got each other's backs.
Thank you.
Hi.
Oh.
First off, I want to kind of apologize for accidentally bumping you in the head earlier.
That's okay. I like a good headbutt every now and again.
But my question was, with Meg being a Lucifer loyalist, obviously Crowley was after her for a long time, but it kind of seemed like there was something else going on underneath that. Do you have any idea or any theories on what that might have been? Like what their beef was, what happened between them before that?
I don't, but I think that they were too similar. It was just one of those things that, like, it was I don't know, just my thing. And I loved the Crowley character, but I thought, like, Meg and Crowley were just kind of similar in their sense of humor, in their, like, wanting to win, and their whatever it was. And I felt like that's two characters that, like, they either had to have, like, a passionate love affair or they had to kill each other. Like, there was no in between. I don't know backstory-wise. Do you have any theories?
The only thing I can think of is Crowley just especially hated her because she was Azazel's daughter. So
Yeah, there is.
yeah.
Hello, sunshine. There you are. So, I wanted to tell you that I think you kick way more butt than Meg because you fight way harder battles and you still stay positive. Piggyback my question on that.
I just need to pause and say, you know that means so much to me. Thank you.
You know, it's true. It's genuine.
So, you can go on. Sorry. I interrupted.
So my piggyback question is, how do you manage during the worst days to keep that? You put out so much positivity and compassion and sweetness into the world. You have the smile that lights up an entire room. How do you hold on to that on the really hard days?
Thank you for saying. I don't want to, like, I'm not happy all the time. There are times where it sucks. I tend to kind of vent in really short bursts when no one's around. So I'm more likely to, like, scream and throw something when no one's in the room, and then, then be like, okay, I'm fine, guys. Or, so yeah, it's frustrating and it sucks sometimes. But on the other hand, I think it's important to not ignore that, because then it bubbles up as anger and all that. And I think, so I try to kind of, it's hard to explain, but I try to kind of go into it and acknowledge it. But I do things like I'll write in a notebook, or, close my eyes and kind of meditate on it, or whatever it is, until I can find that place beyond whatever I'm consumed with at that moment. Because it's all silly. And none of us are victims of anything. That's one of the things that I've really learned, is that everyone has battles they're fighting. It doesn't matter what, it looks like from the outside. We're all going through something, and we all have to find that place in us, that inner strength to get beyond that. And it's such a silly illusion when we get consumed by whatever's going on, and we think it's everything. Because there's, like, a whole world out here and all these people, and there's so much more, and so much more joy and so much more fun. So somehow, I don't know, knock on wood, because, hopefully it just keeps happening, but somehow I have that intention to get through to the other side always, and to find that joy again, and to find that love. But gosh, I don't know if it's going to always be there. It's we just keep... You try never to lose sight of it, and you try to keep that as your North Star and pull you through all the time.
Well, you're a superhero to me.
Thank you. You are so, and just so you know, you can go back to your seat. You don't have to stand. But I just want each of you to know too, that, like, when something like that comes out of a person, it always shows me much more about that person than it does about me, because someone is that strong, that beautiful, and whatever, if they see that in another person. That's all it's doing.
Hi, welcome to Phoenix. We're happy to have you. It's totally great to see you. But the question I want to ask is, how many takes did it take for the pizza man? Had to ask, I'm dying of curiosity.
That's well, we rehearsed a lot. Not really. I don't want to. But no, it took quite a few. I don't know. It's so funny because I think that I somehow get over. I don't think about much of what's going on until I look at it in retrospect. So at the time, I think I was just wanting to do everything right and have it be correct. So I didn't take nearly enough time to just enjoy the great moment. But yeah, he's a great kisser, and yeah, and I want you guys to be able to live that moment even more than I did. So yeah, indulge. It was a beautiful moment, and I love those characters together. So, and we did have quite a few takes, I think. So. Thank you. It's so funny because I always feel so guilty because usually we cut off a bunch of people who are going to ask questions, but I don't think there's like a lot. I don't think we have more. So I'm just going to rant at you guys. Is there anything, like, I want to give you guys everything that you desire in terms of just, feeling full and having an amazing start to your weekend. So that's my goal. Is like, hey, this should be the most fun, beautiful time. And if there ever is a moment where you're stressing out and you're wrapped up in like, oh my gosh, I have to get to this autograph session, but this person is talking, and what do I do? And just remember, life is beautiful. You're around a bunch of people that love you. Take a moment, take a breath. This should be an enjoyable thing, not a stressful thing for anyone. And I hope we're all looking out for, because we've all got different things going on. I know for some people, they really need a quiet room, or just the neurostimulation of like all of the things can be a bit much. So let's look out for each other. Let's love each other, and let's look out for ourselves. So that's just something. You guys rock. But I want to give you the fun stuff too. Misha's hot. So are Jared and Jen. We can't go wrong with any of the guys on there. Yes, yay.
Hi, Rachel. My fiance is the one that cried your photo up. So, she's probably too scared to come up here, so. We just want to know, because in every scene that we see you, just the way that you speak, or the way that Meg speaks, in other words, it's so fluent and poetic, and just, we've never heard anyone talk like that. And so, I want to know was that your choice, or was that a writer's choice?
I think there's a couple things. One, they wrote the heck out of Meg. Like, I feel like I got to say the best words, and so a lot of times I really just enjoy letting those flow out. But I also am someone who grew up on like old movies, and I also appreciate debate and just fine speech, and like all these things that not everyone has an inkling for. Like, and it doesn't turn everyone on. I love it, and I love like beautiful melodic kind of speaking. I'm someone who always loved Shakespeare. I love great words. I love, and I think there's so much that is just about how things are said, not just what's being said. So yeah, I absolutely, you're not wrong that's an effect I maybe wanted to create, but mostly it's a testament to the great writing, because when it's good words, they trip off your tongue.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
How awesome is this lady? How much do we love this lady? Phoenix, Rachel Miner! I love that woman. Supernatural, the convention circuit and the show itself are blessed with some awesome, awesome women.